Your prank calls aren't gonna scare me, pal, okay? Something's been bothering me, and it always has since my grandma told me. The cops said Peter did it. And for years, my grandma said the same, but I think she started to have doubts. Who the hell is this?
What's going on, everybody? Good evening. It's 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name's Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. This is episode 121 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. The date today is Monday, August the 9th, 2021. And tonight, we are watching the 1995 Halloween classic, The Curse of Michael Myers. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
The scariest Halloween of them all.
Live, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, the origins of Michael Myers, Halloween 666. You might be asking yourself, are you watching the theatrical cut or are you watching the producer's cut? We are watching the theatrical cut. The theatrical cut.
Dave!
I know. That's what we're watching. We're watching the theatrical cut. The cut that I saw in the movie theater in 1995. But that just, allows us that sometime in the future, we will probably revisit this movie and watch the producer's cut. Now, let me be first to say this. Before I hand it over to Tony, we've told these stories before, but before we begin, I think it is appropriate, being that we are doing this show, that we sort of just give a quick recap of our theatrical experience with both of these movies.
Oh boy.
Now, is there I hear a bit of a crackling on your end. I don't know if it's like a connection thing.
That snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah, like a little bit of
Is that better?
Do you hear that?
No, I don't hear anything.
No, it sounds like a loose connection a little bit.
Do you guys hear something in the chat room? Let us know.
You sound fine, but it's just like, every few seconds, like sounds like a loose connection. Maybe your wire, maybe your headphones, maybe. No. Anyway, so let me just say this. Let me say this. Okay, there's this debate between producers and theatrical. Look, I've said before, and I will say it again. I don't give a frog's fat ass if you're watching the theatrical cut or the producer's cut. They're both god-awful. And, I will say that the producer's cut gives more context. It's a better movie in the sense of that it gives more context to things that maybe don't quite add up or make sense when you watch the theatrical cut because things were heavily edited or cut down. We know that, but it's not like it's a different story. It's not like it's a different outcome. It's the same story. It's not like in the theatrical cut, it's this weird Celtic cult, and in the producer's cut, it's completely ambiguous with an amazing ending. No, it's the same thing. It's just, it gives you a little more Dr. Loomis and a little more insight here and a little more context there. It is what it is. But again, I'm speaking from a very different perspective than most fans might. I've seen both, and I gotta be honest with you. In the producer's cut, I think it's hilarious, and I don't think it's intentionally meant to be, that Tommy Doyle can render the shape completely obsolete by getting him into a circle of these stones. Okay, the baddest motherfucker on the planet, and there he is, and just step into the circle.
Stopped by a couple of rocks.
Stopped by a couple of rocks. And then, of course, you know, they go back in. Dr. Loomis goes back in, sees the thorn, tattoo disappear. No. And then you see Michael. Michael has switched clothing with Dr. Wynn, and Michael Myers himself is walking down an alleyway into the shadows in a fucking trench coat and fedora. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, I will say, I don't like the theatrical cut any better. But, and again, it's like that horse race that like we talk about, right? First, second, first, second, first, or first, second, I should say. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not much better. But I mean, at least there's some level of ambiguity in the theatrical cut. I mean, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. But at least there's some level of ambiguity, I guess. Anyway, I could go on and on, but I just wanted to get that out of my system. Tony, how the hell are you? Welcome, episode 121. Tell me about your theatrical experience with Halloween 6.
Well, as you can see, I'm wearing my Jamie Lloyd Halloween 4 t-shirt because I still want justice for Jamie Lloyd, and I believe she deserves a proper. First of all, she deserves a proper trilogy because 5 is just fucking garbage as well too. But after everything, as great of a sequel Halloween 4 was, I mean, you just can't imagine it going like worse to even worse. Like you know what I mean? Like you just can't imagine. But they succeeded on going from worse to even fucking worse. When it was obviously like Jason Goes to Hell and Freddy's Dead, Halloween Curse of Michael Myers was my first Halloween movie going experience. I remember I was super excited about it. I took my girlfriend Allie at the time, and we went with some friends from high school. And I just remember the excitement leading up to it. Being that it was my first, Halloween movie that I was going to see in theaters. And the girl that I was dating at the time, she was also really into horror movies, and she was a fan of the Halloween. In fact, I think the first one we saw together, the movie we watched together was Halloween 4. And if she wasn't with me that night, that night could have gone in so many different directions, because she really pulled me through. I remember just within the first 30 seconds of the film, I'm like, who the fuck is this? And why is she saying Uncle Michael? You know what I mean? Like whatever the dialogue is. I don't know the dialogue, verbatim, but that's you hear Jamie's voice faintly. And I heard that. And then I'm seeing, who's the actress's name? I forget her name that plays Jamie in this.
Something,
Brandy something? Or
yeah, Brandy, whatever. The chat room, I know! Somebody type it!
Yeah, I know.
Brandy Jane, something like that. I don't know.
And it's no diss at the actress.
No, I just forget.
Okay, but again, because you have to remember, guys, this is pre-internet. Well, pre-internet in the way we use it today. Internet was around, but I wasn't. JC Brandy, thanks, Corey. But I had no clue that Daniel Harris was not in the movie. All I knew was I saw the previews, like you said at the beginning here, in the opening of The Crow, the 666 origin of Michael Myers. I saw that. Didn't see much. They didn't give too much away. So I had and I don't know if that was just done intentionally because they were hiding the fact that Daniel Harris wasn't in the movie. I have no idea. From what I remember, I have to rewatch that trailer again. I have it it's on my VHS. I have to pop that in and remember what they show, because I'm almost positive you don't see Jamie's character. I could be wrong on that. But anyways, had no clue. Had no fucking clue. And I just remember looking at Allie going, this is fucking bullshit. Like, she just looked at me like, dude, I am so sorry. You know what I mean? Like, dude, what can you do? At this point, now I'm committed. I have to fucking sit through this fucking movie with another actress playing Jamie Lloyd. Okay. So I'm already fucking disappointed. And it's just one of those downward spiral of going into the depths of hell that I just could not get out of for 90 fucking minutes until I walked out of that theater. And I mean, it was just, like I said, if it weren't for, some of my high school friends being there and Allie being there, the overall night of just being with my friends was fun. the movie going experience and seeing my first Halloween film, just what the fuck, man. Just like, no, like there's just so many no's that were happening. And it was like, I kept slouching. That's all she tells a story better than I do, is that if you saw me at the beginning of the film, I'm pretty much like this. I'm all like, yeah. And by the end, I'm like that, dude. Right. I'm so done. I'm so checked out with this fucking film.
Now you can't hear that cracking, right? It seems to happen when you move. It sounds to me like there's a loose connection. Like it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it doesn't overpower you, but it's there when you talk. So sometimes it's there when you talk. Sometimes it's there when you don't talk. No, when you don't talk, it's not there. And I'm wondering if it's because you're moving and maybe it's your headphones
or something. I don't know. So I'll try to sit still, sit tight.
Yeah. Just sit like Michael Myers.
No. Subtle movements. So yeah. Yeah, that was my, but I mean, I do remember the night though. I had a fun night. I had a fun night with Allie. I had a fun night with my friends, hanging out afterwards. I just, yeah, man, it was such a letdown, because you have to remember too, we were on a 6-year hiatus with this franchise. Mm-hmm. No fucking clue who this man in black was. The cool thing about Allie was that she was kind of like you and I, because again, remember back in the day, horror fans were a dime a dozen, like really a dime. So you couldn't get into really in-depth conversations with people and talk about who do you think the man in black is and all this stuff, and like what does the tattoo mean and all that stuff like that. But with her, I was able to do that, and we were doing that all summer long and talking about you know what is this going to happen, this going to happen, and it was just like, it's just in typical Halloween fucking fashion. You get super excited about a new movie only to be fucking let down. You know what I mean? With the exception of H2O, and that was just because I had a really good night with my friends at the theater, but whatever.
Yeah, it actually the Popeye 129 says in the chat, more popcorn. That's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like popcorn popping.
And the bummer part of it is I hate trashing this film simply because of the fact that it's the last time we see Donald Pleasance on screen. That's the one thing I don't like, because it's, you know what I mean? It's the last time we're seeing him as this, and he deserves so much fucking better than this.
Now, did you just turn yourself down?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, turn yourself back up.
As I was saying,
because you're good where you were. I don't know what the cracking is from. It sounds like a loose connection, but I don't know.
Weird thing.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything on my end.
Hear nothing. It's like interesting. Well, I mean, look.
I was saying with regards to Donald Pleasance's last film, I hate dissing this movie because of that, but. As I said, and I've talked off screen or not screen, but privately with Dave. There are so many cool ideas that I could put together to give Danielle Harris and Ellie Cornell the proper movies that they deserve from the sequel they were given in Halloween 4, only to be shit on in 5 and 6, well, especially. Fuck, you don't even get Danielle Harris returning to play Jamie Lloyd. And then, of course, later on, when, the documentaries come out, you start hearing all that shit about her, becoming emancipated so that she can, because she was too young at the time. She couldn't play the role. And they wanted someone who was of age. And she goes and pays all out of her pocket to be emancipated to, play the role of Jamie Lloyd again. And then, studio goes in another fucking direction. Why? I don't fucking know, because this is the girl who this is Jamie Lloyd. Like, when you're telling me this other, I don't know who the fuck that other chick is.
I understand. I get it. I totally get it. Let's start the movie, and then I'll talk about my experience as we get rolling here. But this is okay. So Tony and I are paused at, let me see here. We are paused at where the Dimensions Films logo is on the screen. We're watching the theatrical cut of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. So if you want to watch along with us, by all means do, but you are watching the theatrical cut, not the producer's cut. We are both paused at the Dimensions Films logo on the screen. That's where we are paused. Tony, it looks like he's changing his headphones to see if that makes a difference. We'll see if that makes a difference. I'm not entirely sure. Let's Tony's putting on his let's see here. Tony's putting on his cans. We'll see if this makes a difference. Let's see here.
Is that better?
Start talking.
Yo, this is DJ Tony D. No, I can hear it now.
Now you can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
All right, so that didn't fix it.
I wonder what that is.
All right, give me a second.
Okay, no problem. No problem. At least Tony can hear it now, which works well. Well, while he's trying to figure that out, let me. So I remember seeing this in the movie theater back in 1995. I went with my buddy Bruce, you know Bruce, and I was 16. He was 15, and of course in 1990, of course the film was rated R, so you had to be 18 to get in to see the movie. Now I was 16, looked 25, sounded like I do now. Bruce was 15, looked 14, sounded 12. So we were like complete opposites. I could grow like full on 5 o'clock shadow, like full on, like this at 15. It was insane. I was buying beer for everybody. But anyway, so we went to the movie theater and we tried to get in to see it together. They didn't ask me for ID at all. I just was like, oh, I have one for Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. And they're like, okay, and gave me the ticket. And then Bruce tried to get one as well. And they're like, how old are you? And he's like, and it didn't work. So instead of me backing out, because I really wanted to see Halloween 6 in the theater, because it would have been my first time of seeing a Halloween movie in the movie theater. So that's why I did that. And I went and saw it, and Bruce decided to go see 7. And I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. So 7 wasn't rated R? Not in Canada. No, it was rated. At the time, we had a rating called AA. And you had to be 14 or over to get in by yourself. And Bruce was 15, so he went and saw 7. I went and saw Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Obviously, he saw the better movie. Curse was done beforehand. I came out. I was sitting on a little bench in the theater hallway, depressed, fucking like, what the hell did I just watch? That's the explanation. That's the explanation. And then Bruce comes out of seeing. Oh, sorry, Tony, say again.
Saying, did it feel like the wind was knocked out of you when you saw it? Like when you walked out of the theater, like someone just hit you really hard in the fucking stomach and you're just like, what the fuck? Yes,
it felt like that. I was sitting there and I was like, what the hell? He came out. He's like, dude, you should see a fucking movie, the fucking Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt. And this is 7 in the movie theater, folks. One of the greatest psychological thrillers of all time. He had a chance to see that and I was like, oh. He's like, how was it? I'm like, I think I was crying into Bruce's shoulder as we were leaving. I was crying on his lap on the bus on the way home or whatever it was. But anyway, that's sort of my experience. 1995, my first Halloween film, in the theater. I was like one of 5 people in there. And by the end of the movie, I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Anyway, Tony, you're back. Did you solve it?
I think so. I think I know what it was. I think it was the booth monitors that I have hooked up to it.
Okay. Yeah, you sound great now. No crapping. Crapping. No cracking.
I think by unplugging that I got to get new cables. I think it's the cables. They're really expensive cables, but yeah. I don't.
I was going to say, it sounded like some sort of cable loose connection thing. All right, so let's start this. Dimension Films logo, you ready? Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm kind of glad we're not watching the producer's cut because, we also find out later on that fucking Michael impregnates Jamie in the producer's cut. Right?
It's funny. Now, I can hear that on your end. I think it's because you have... Can you mute?
It's all the way up.
Is it? Okay. But you can, okay. Yeah. I don't know why that is, but I can hear it on your end. But like, if I hear it every so often, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Anyway, yeah, this is it. Halloween 6. Here we go, baby. Halloween 6. There she is. JC Brandy is her name, I think. You can't have the baby, Michael. You can't have the baby.
Fuck you. Fucking Daniel Harris, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I mean...
Love to have been in that fucking meeting when they were coming up with the ideas for this movie and the stories, and like, really, the best idea you're coming up with on how Jamie gets pregnant is she's fucking boinked by her uncle? Like,
yes, she's boinked.
What we're doing to Michael Myers now.
Yeah.
He's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, it's true. It's true. I think it's I think it was artificially inseminated. At least I hope so. I mean, nobody wants to see Michael banging his niece. I mean, that just would be a whole, or maybe there should be. Maybe there should be an alternate cut where it's happening. It's actually happening. You see a sex scene. Michael's got the mask on. He's making love to her. There's candles, you know. That'd be funny. Wouldn't that be great? Just all this like candles and shit. And he's like, yeah, baby. You got some like Barry Manilow in there. Barry Manilow.
And talk about a big let. And I thought Space Mountain was a big letdown. No, this is like the biggest letdown ever, finding out who this idiot is.
Space Mountain? You thought it's like the ride?
Space Mountain, the ride, I thought was a cool idea until you go on it and you get off of it like, this fucking blows. Like,
oh really? I liked Space Mountain. My name is Paul Rudd, starring and introducing Paul Rudd.
Loud. There's no audio. The audio's turned down.
I think it is loud, and I don't know. And maybe it's because you have.
There's nothing. I don't even hear it.
Yeah. See, now I don't hear it at all. I think it must be the fader. Maybe if you turn the fader down.
Connected to a fader.
Oh, okay. That's so weird. I don't know what the fuck it is. But yeah, this is one of those movies that's like.
There's this opening scene.
And you know what? This is the opening, not the opening scene, but this is the opening moment where like you're introduced right here. Like they're like the shit's out of the bag. They're not holding back. You're being introduced to the, and listen, this on its own, you know, again, it's like, okay, you know, but it's just.
Yeah. I mean, like on its own, it's no. It's no. Fuck this movie.
He's waiting. He's waiting. He's waiting, bitches. He's waiting. He's out there and he's waiting. Michael Myers. I don't fucking care. If you hear a little bit of the movie, there's nothing we can do. Don't worry about it. Our shows are not monetized anyway. Sincerely, they aren't. Our shows are never monetized. YouTube doesn't monetize our shows. I've complained, I've put in requests, and they just deny it every single time. I think it's because it has the word shit in the title. I kid you not. I think that is why. Bullshit. So they demonetize it. And I refuse to play by their game. I'm like, no, it's the name of the show is Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. I'm not going to change it to Two Dudes and Some BS because YouTube is, you know, sensitive.
Bullshit's not advertised and friendly because the word shit can be very offensive to a lot of people.
So, yeah.
And then in the producer's cut, they go fucking Godfather on Jamie Lloyd.
Well, there's a scene in the producer
fucking bed, like fucking Vito Corleone walking into fucking to kill whoever he was going to kill in The Godfather. Oh,
it's true. There he is.
Oh, George P.
Good old George P. And the thing is, too, is that there's a scene in the producer's cut where you see Michael, you see a flashback with Jamie Lloyd, young Danielle Harris. Yes. And you see Michael being shackled and thrown into the back of a van. I mean, it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
The back shot. Is that Danielle Harris?
The back shot?
Oh no, right, being loaded into the van. Yeah, you're right.
You know, being
right.
loaded into the van. Yeah. Now, this is great. The cinematography, the storm, the fog, him coming out of there, like this all looks great. And once you get to Haddonfield, I mean, it definitely looks like autumn. It feels like fall. It feels like
Halloween, that's for sure.
For sure. It feels like Halloween. It looks like Halloween. I like the rain. I like this kind of stuff. I mean, this is all good shit, right? It's the story.
90s, got that 90 guitar riff going.
Yep. It's the story. It has nothing to do with... I love when people try to argue with me. They're like, yeah, but it looks good. Yeah, but so did The Last Jedi. I don't... So what? So it looks good. What's the fucking story? You know, and what's the answers to the questions? You know, it's like, really? That's what it is? Really? That's where you're going? It's not that you can't watch these movies in a vacuum on their own and enjoy it. Like I can watch Halloween 5, Halloween like on their own and just, you know, and kill an hour and a half and just enjoy it and just kind of, you know, it is what it is. Enjoy it just as a time. But when you look at the entire series and you look at the entire story that's being told, it's so disjointed and all over the place and it just doesn't do it for me. But that's me. There are fans of the series that they don't care. They love Halloween 5. They love Halloween 6. They just love it all. More. And, you know, neither is wrong or right necessarily. It's just I have different standards.
Hey, is this the movie too, by the way, where we're introduced to Michael's physical address, the 45 Lampkin Lane?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if this is the one.
I know it's on the house and I saw it on the house.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if this is the first time we learned. Chat room, help me out here. Is this the first time we learned the actual address of Michael Myers, where it shows it on the house, like very briefly there? Or do they mention it before in one of the other movies and I just can't fucking remember?
I will say this though.
What?
The Myers house in this movie looks nothing like the Myers house. However, it looks way more like the Myers house than the Myers house in Halloween 5 did.
It looks like the Myers house, but updated through time. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't really look... I get what you're saying, but it doesn't really... The facade would have to have been completely reconstructed, but it looks... It's a smaller wartime home, and that's why you believe it, you buy into it. And you're right. Maybe over time there was some renovations that were done or whatever. Like there's a certain level of you know, that Myers house in 5. Oh my God, it's dreadful.
Well, here's the thing. The Myers house in 5 is dreadful from the fact that they're trying to convince us that it's Halloween or Michael Myers' house.
Oh yeah.
The house itself is fucking badass.
The house is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, like that house actually deserves to be like a Munsters house or a fucking a Munsters or an Addams Family house. Like you could totally get away with it if it was one or the other. But Michael Myers, this is the closest.
I hear the popcorn again.
Really? Is it bad?
No, it just started.
I can really do about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll deal with it. It's all right. Hey, it sounds like popcorn. You know, we're watching a movie. But you're right, Tony. The house in Halloween 5, the house in and of itself is a great looking house. It's amazing. This gothic, ethereal kind of, it's fucking fantastic. But it's not the Myers house. Come on.
No, this is Ant-Man in training.
That's right. Paul Rudd.
You know,
They should have had him back as Tommy Doyle.
No, they should not have. It makes no sense.
But I don't care. I just want to see him back and get the nostalgic feels. I just want the feels.
I'm just busting your balls, everybody.
Ant-Man.
I'm just teasing everybody.
Tarantula Man. Neutron Man. Here we go. I will say this. All his moments on screen, even in this shitty abomination, were good. You cannot.
Yeah, he's great. Well, he's fucking great.
You know, you can't complain one time about Donald Pleasance. It didn't matter. He gave everything.
He's about to say, not dead, just very much retired.
I fully expect we're going to hear a lot of drunk Loomis tonight from Dave.
Here he comes. Not dead, just very much retired. Who the hell is he talking to when he says that?
Just very much retired.
Yes.
It's just unfortunate that he wasn't healthy enough to stick around just a little bit longer, because it would definitely have been interesting to see how H2O would have been if he was still alive.
For sure.
Totally would have been interesting.
It's too bad. You know, it's funny how there are some people in this world that can live to 85 or 90. And
Clint, 91.
I know.
Directed in a new movie.
I know he's got a new movie. Yep, he does. It's he does.
Bless that man. He gives me inspiration to just keep going.
It's true. It's true. But what's so fascinating is that there are some people that can be in their 80s and sound and be very able-bodied and very like, hey man, what's going on? Like they sound and look fine. And then there are some people that get to like 60 and they sound like this. Yes. Or they get to 70 and they're like, hello. And you're like, it's strange. Like it's, you know, Donald Pleasance, if you didn't know, you'd think he was fucking 88 in this movie. He's like 74, you know? And I know there are some people might be thinking, well, he's 74. And there are some people that just for whatever reason, they get to their 70s and they're, yes. And then there are some people that can live to 85 and sound like me. You know what I mean? And be, you know, running marathons and shit.
Hopefully it stays with us. I mean, I don't know what the future is going to bring for you and I, but you and I mean, I know you deal with the same shit I deal with. No one believes that I'm 42. Nobody. Every time I'm like, dude, no, you're not. Like they think I'm in my 30s. You know what I mean? Like, I get a lot of like 32, 33, which is fine. If it stays that way and I'm in my 70s and I look like I'm in my 50s or 60s, well, I'll take it.
True. Well, when my dad passed, he was 69 and he looked good for his age. And he sounded like, you know, my dad was not, you know, I mean, my dad just sounded normal, you know what I mean? And, but it happens. It's, I think I don't think I could pass for like being 30 anymore, like 29 or something. But I dress in ball caps and hoodies and jeans and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely look very casual. I might dress younger than I am. But yeah.
If I didn't shave my head, that definitely would age me because of the balding up here, the widow's peak, and on the top here. If I let it grow in, that definitely would add. I'd probably look like 42. I definitely 40s, but because I keep it short like that, it definitely keeps me on the youthful side. And of course, you know, exercising and you know that.
I just went for a run this afternoon and a run last night.
Paul Rudd had a good year that year. This and Clueless.
Clueless, yeah.
Of course, Clueless definitely.
Now, whatever happened to JC Bradley or Brandy?
Oh, I mean, I will say this: she's hot, she's attractive, but as far as telling me that she's Jamie Lloyd, no. But
what happened to her? What did she go on and do after this?
I don't know. All I know, dude.
You're that. I don't know.
All I'm saying is the idea that I pitched to you about doing a Halloween, even if we did it as a fan film, dude, I bet you we could raise the money for a Halloween fan film to get Danielle Harris and Ellie back to do a proper fucking sequel, full feature.
Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah,
we'd make the best Halloween movie ever, and we would shoot it in October and then release it the following year, make people wait a year.
That's right. No, we
never release it.
We never release it. It's just for us. It's just for us.
Big move.
It's just for us.
And it's so really easy to do. I mean, it's not like I've heard this theory gone out on YouTube before. The idea to how do you skip 5 and 6? You could do a throwaway line and just simply say that, you know, you could have Rachel say to Jamie, like, look, I never died. You never had a baby. So you almost allude to 5 and 6 just being in Jamie's head. And it was just only a dream. It never happened. And then there you go. It's gone. And you've reset the fucking timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Timestamp.
They should have done that from the beginning.
1530 something. 1538, 1539 and counting. But you know what I mean? That's just that's how you escape being connected to 5 and 6. It was all in Jamie's head. You know, it never fucking happened.
You know what they should have done instead of, well, no, I get it. I guess I understand that. But there he is. He's after her. Yeah, the timestamp is we're 16 minutes and 14 seconds into the movie. Michael is chasing Jamie Lloyd.
In the white pedo van.
That's right. That's right. That's it. The white pedo.
The van that our parents told us stay away from.
100%.
Don't accept the candy.
Yeah. You know what I would have liked? And again, I'm not a,
Chat room saying they would back you. Dude, I'm telling you, we could probably raise enough money to we could do a 90-minute home.
I know. I just don't know if I want to do it.
Come on, man. Be a chance to work with Danielle Harris and get Ellie back. Fucking, yeah.
I don't care. Halloween out.
I just want to do it just so that we can make a better one than Blumhouse. That's all. That's my ambition. Just make it better than Blumhouse. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already proven you can do that with a $60,000 short fan film and It's Me, Billy. So fuck it. Let's go.
That's true.
Let's go balls to the walls. Folks, we need about 500,000. I think that'll probably cover all of it.
500,000. Yeah, it would have to be a SAG. SAG.
Definitely. Yeah. That should definitely cover Danielle's, because I don't think Danielle's that. I mean, she ain't making no million a movie.
No.
So, and that's not a diss at her. I'm just saying.
No. It's no.
Definitely would cover Ellie's expense. Those would be our two biggest expense, minus, well, not counting the cinematographer and all.
That shot right there when she looks over to the left, flashing in the lightning, and then he's gone. That's great shit. That is a great moment in this movie when the lightning and he's illuminated. You see him in the illumination of the lightning, and then he's gone. And he's gone. I love that. That's fantastic. That's great. It's a great little moment in a bad movie.
There's a lot of that in this.
Well, there's a lot of that in most of the Halloween shit. Most of the I can find certain moments, like you often hear me say on my channel, I like that shot, I like that scene, I like that moment. You can find things.
I love the country feel for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this film has great atmosphere, great mood in terms of Halloween, October, all that kind of stuff. When we cut to the daytime here in a moment and we go to Haddonfield, and there's that shot where you kind of see the streets and everything. It looks great. It looks great. I've never been a fan of this mask.
Bobby Hall, that's exactly my idea. Jamie was in a mental place for all these years. Everything that happened in 5 and 6 was all in her head. It never fucking happened.
Do you know, I wonder if...
reunites her with Rachel.
I wonder if people would have been more receptive. Well, hey, Halloween 18 made $250 million at the box office, but would people have rather have seen, instead of what they're doing with Halloween 18? Now, I know I know there are some people that like Halloween 18. There are people that are excited for Halloween Kills. But what if they hadn't gone that route? What if they had not gone that route and erased all the movies, but erased everything except for 1 through 4? And then instead of doing from 1, because the only one that is canon at the moment is part 1. But you keep 2 canon, you keep 4 canon, and then you basically start again making so Halloween 18 would essentially be like an alternate Halloween 5. You know what I mean? Instead of being an alternate Halloween 2. And then you could have brought, and then you could have brought back Danielle Harris. You could have brought back Rachel Carruthers. You could have even brought back Jamie Lee Curtis if you wanted to, saying that she faked her death. You know what I mean? You could have done that.
It would definitely, for the Halloween fan base, those who are fans of Halloween 4, I'm not speaking for the entire fan base, but those who are like me, who are big fans of 4 and appreciate the Jamie Lloyd character from 4 and Rachel character from 4, it would be
Imagine you started hacking up the kids.
That'd be awesome.
Come here, you fucking kids! Goddamn kids!
Screen moment to see. It would have been a great on-screen moment to see Lori and Jamie.
This feels like fall. Sorry to interrupt you. Just want to say this looks like fall. Feels like fall. Well, they shot in the fall. Yeah, they did. They shot in the fall.
If we did this is the time of year I'd want to fucking do it. It's fucking fall.
No, but this looks great. This looks great. It's definitely autumn. The
mountains in the background.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's because it's Salt Lake
That's
City.
tough to hide. It's tough
It
to
is.
hide.
Well, now you could digitally remove it. You could digitally remove that now.
But could you just imagine what that would have been like like seeing that moment, that payoff, like seeing Danielle Harris and Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lloyd on screen for the first time in a Halloween movie?
Yeah, and they're
what
actually
that payoff would have been like for fans. That would have been really cool.
right, and the payoff would have been way better than shoehorning in Danielle Harris into a Halloween film now because
I wouldn't want that. Not
but a lot of people do. I get so much flack for it. A lot of people do. A lot of people want Danielle Harris back. And it's like, okay, but she's not playing. And even if she was playing Jamie Lloyd, it would be an alternate version of it. So she's not. Yeah, she's not the same Jamie Lloyd. She would have no memories of 4 or 5 or 6. She's just the same in name only. So I think if you had erased all of them except for 4, you would have been able to have the same Jamie Lloyd then.
See, man, we gotta make that movie.
No,
come on,
it's a good idea. Nah, it's take it to. I got nah.
I'm gonna work on him, folks. May take me a while. May take me a few
I'm not
years.
saying it's not a good idea. It's a good idea, but it's a lot of work and a lot of effort, and we can't make money off of it, right? And there's a lot of that's a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of something that you just can't.
Well, technically, we could make money off of it. There is kind of a loophole, that kind of a shady loophole, but it's a loophole. If people were to have right, so people donate to the movie, but then people also can donate to the Tony Michael Halloween photography project. It's a loophole, okay? There's nothing illegal about it. They donate to to that, and then they donate to the Tony Michael Photography Halloween Film Project, and Dave and Tony are paid. Yeah. I'm just saying it's an idea.
Look at that slap. Look at this guy. This guy is playing John is so great. I think it's John, right?
The actor.
Yeah, he's so great.
John Strode. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
He kind of reminds me like
knife. I was like, oh my god.
He kind of reminds me of like a fat Bill Clinton or a John Goodman a little bit. He looks like he'd beat his wife, and I know that sounds awful because I'm sure he's a nice man, but he looks like he would be a alpha overcompensating insecure little piece of crap.
I remember looking at Allie in the theater like that was so stupid, seeing Danny holding the knife. Like, this is dumb. I just like looked over like, what the fuck is going on? Although this dark redhead, I'm on a redhead kick, man, for the last few weeks. She was hot.
Now the interiors, I believe, were not the same as the exteriors, were they? I can't remember of the Myers house here. Because wasn't the Myers house an actual, like not a halfway house, but like they had different apartments in there or something? I think there were several people that I think were living in the Myers house, if I'm not mistaken. But I stand to be corrected. There was something about that though.
I remember I was just looking at that the dude's girlfriend there, the redhead, not this chick, but the other one. I remember the girls in our high school dressing like that because I remember that was really popular with like kind of like a 70s grunge look at the time with the bell bottoms and the tie-dye stuff. I remember like in the mid 90s, at 95, 96, 97, girls were dressing like that. So I will say, as far as like costume design, mood and atmosphere, creative shots, this movie has it all. Just has a fucking shitty story.
Yep. By the way, folks, if you want to send in super chats or whatever, we'll answer them throughout the show today.
Folks,
this is
send in like $1,000 super chat to get Dave kind of thinking to make this movie.
Send in $500 super chats. That'll be $250,000.
1,000.
$500 super chats.
That's $250,000. That'll get us halfway there.
There you go.
I'm living on a prayer.
Tommy Doyle is creepy in this movie. He's a creep.
Well, he's in training to become Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, he's in training to be a Ghostbuster.
Be
He's in training to be a Ghostbuster. There's Mrs. Blankenship.
Retired to become a Ghostbuster.
She's dead now. Mrs. Blankenship.
Who would we get to play Michael Myers in our film? Dude, we got to go with the best, the greatest, Tony Moran. Come on,
No, we'd get Danny DeVito. I'd want Danny DeVito.
That would be hilarious, right?
100%. I want Danny DeVito to play Michael Myers. We just shoot him like from low angles all the time.
That'd be hilarious.
Like really low angles.
And we'll have kid actors, like really young kids, like
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. He looks nothing like when you look at the kid, you know, when you look at, you know, Brian Andrews and you look at
Anthony Michael Hall looks more like the kid.
100%. Anthony Michael Hall, I totally believe is older Tommy Doyle. I don't know. Yeah. 100%. 100%. 100%.
A lot of Halloween decorations, things that I've never really noticed before, but I am noticing in this movie. And again, I'll give the set designers credit where credit is due. They make you definitely feel like this is a Halloween movie, because when you watch most Halloween films, it's not a whole lot of, well, Halloween 2 had some in the hospital. There were some scenes there where there was some decor in the lounge when they were sitting, and then also near where Janice and what's her name have that talk near the babies.
Yep.
So Halloween 2 had some decoration. Halloween 1 had shit, except for a few pumpkins and leaves.
No, and it's very green, right? Yeah,
a lot of green, but definitely didn't have much for Halloween decor. This Halloween 4 also had a lot of that as well too, because you get the kids trick-or-treating, toilet papering at night and stuff like that. Definitely makes you feel like it's a Halloween movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just unfortunate that they couldn't deliver a better story, you know, because if the story was better, this probably would have been a really great sequel like 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm not, okay, so things I don't like about this movie. I don't care if you're watching the producer's cut or the director's cut. I don't like George P. Wilbur's portrayal of the Shape. I think he's been eating too many cheeseburgers. No disrespect to George P. And I don't like he just looks a little, you know, well, he's, you know, a little rotund. I don't like the mask. I know there are people that love the Halloween 6 mask, that love the H2O mask, that love, you know, they can find certain, and that doesn't mean that there aren't certain shots where, you know, it doesn't look all right. But I've never been a fan of really any mask since the first and second movie, which is essentially the same mask anyway. But I really do appreciate the mask in Halloween 18. It looks the most like the original mask out of all the sequels. So I'm not a fan of Michael in this movie. I'm not really a fan of Michael in any of the movies. So there's that. The story. I don't like the story. I just don't like the story. You know, I'm not a fan of the direction that they went. Now, it makes sense because it does combine Halloween and, you know, the druids and cults and like it, you know, when you know your Halloween history and where Halloween comes from, it's not like it's way out in left field, and it's not like it's, you know, they tried to make an effort in connecting it, but what happened, where it went wrong is very much like what happened with, in my opinion, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. It's not, Actually, I take that back, because that movie comes before that movie. So that's not exactly right. But anyway, the point I was going to make was that you have what Dominic Gerard, or whatever his name was, the director of Part 5, when you put that man in black in there, you know, basically
the director was on heroin during that whole time.
The problem,
no clue what the Halloween movie was.
But he's admitted that he had no idea what the Man in Black was. He just wanted something mysterious because he felt the movie lacked some sort of, you know, mysterious subplot or, you know, whatever. He had no idea. His exact words, I'm paraphrasing it, were, well, the people who do Part 6 can figure it out. Well, that's the problem. When you don't know what this is and you just throw it in there, then they have to spend time focusing on where this guy comes from. Like maybe 6 would have been a completely different story had the Man in Black not been involved. But now we have to justify who the Man in Black is, the purpose of his existence, what he's doing, when in reality, if somebody had hired me to write part 6 and there was no Man in Black, I may have come up with a completely different story or a different angle. But now my in is I have to, like, I'm basically back engineering it. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? So now I got to figure out who this guy is because part 5 didn't tell me who he was. So now I got to make up this shit. Maybe I still would have written the same thing. I don't know. But I'm just not a big fan of the story. It does make sense when you talk about Halloween, but I think it's just making sense of it and drawing a reason for the madness and then having her pregnant and it's just I didn't like it. I don't like the story.
I definitely get it. I understand.
But it is probably, and I will say this, it is, this is just funny. It is probably
best looking Halloween movie of all.
The most Halloween movie in terms of the season.
Like making it like you believe this is happening on Halloween.
You believe it's happening on Halloween in the fall. 4 is not bad. 4 is not bad. 4 is not bad. 4 is pretty good, actually. But this definitely is probably the most Halloween-y looking Halloween movie, to be fair. Because H2O obviously isn't. Resurrection is not. Halloween 1 certainly isn't. Halloween 2's all at night, so you don't really see anything. 4 is not bad. 5, you don't really feel anything there. So yeah, probably is.
The thing with 1, 2, and 4, the character of Michael Myers is still intact. He's still this mysterious shape. Whether you like George's performance in 4 or not, obviously I think his performance as Michael in 4 is way better than this. He's
100%. Yeah,
a bit thinner as well too. The shoulder pad things, bad move on their part. They should have didn't do that, but it was the 80s. I get why they were trying to make him look kind of like Jason. I get it, big, whatever. But the overall presence of who Michael was, this mysterious force, was still intact.
Yeah.
When 5 happens and 6 happens, all that goes out the window. Now we know he's controlled, and to me, it just diminishes the character that John Carpenter created.
Yeah.
And it was still intact in 2 and still intact in 4. And then it just got shat on in 5 and 6.
Yeah. It's the discovery that, and like I said, on its own in a vacuum, this might be an interesting story. But when you're connecting it and you're telling us that he's been controlled by a cult this whole time and that it really is, you're almost making him, us have not really. I can't say empathy. I can't say
he's being controlled. So I'm not vulnerable, but more like you have empathy for the character.
Well, yeah, because it's not his fault.
Right. He doesn't have control over himself.
Right.
Yes.
So maybe Michael would have grown up and been just a great guy. And it's just kind of like, I know there's this need and I understand it when you continue to make movies and push the narrative forward, especially when you make a lot of sequels like slasher films tend to do, you have to justify things. That's why I've always said that any great slasher movie is one part only, and any great slasher series should be no more than like a trilogy. Because the second you start to go past the 3rd installment, you've got to justify why he or she or it or whatever is still around. And then the weird and sensational creep in and and you're just making it up as you go along, and it's just kind of like Michael really at the end of the day should have died in that fire and had him for a memorial, and that was the end of it. I mean, as much as 4 is a fan favorite, certainly it made no sense for him to come back, and now he's literally supernatural, and and I don't hate 4. I mean, I think 4 is probably the best sequel outside of 2.
Oh, hands down. I mean, the first 4 in this franchise pretty much does it for me. Got a lot of hope for kills.
And this is going to be a little maybe blasphemous to say, but Mustafa Akkad, excuse me, rest in peace. Gets a lot of praise and a lot of like, you know, the godfather of Halloween and the godfather of this. And, you know, I mean, yes, but he was a financier. He supplied the money for the first movie. He had fuck all to do with any creative choices. He didn't even understand it. He's on, you know, record saying, I don't really understand, but okay, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, he's given the money and he does this or whatever. And then he saw money, but that was his job. He's a producer. He didn't care about quality. He cared about quantity, you know? So I know, like, you could say, well, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have Halloween. Maybe. It all depends what Irwin Yablans would have done had Mustafa Akkad turned him down. If Mustafa Akkad had turned him down, would Irwin Yablans have then said, well, I guess that's it? Or would he have continued looking for somebody else to finance it? We don't know. You know, we have to remember that. Mustafa Akkad didn't come up with the idea for Halloween. It wasn't his brainchild. It was Irwin Yablans. And Irwin Yablans then took it to Carpenter, but they needed the money. So they went to, you know, Mustafa Akkad, and thankfully he was like, well, I don't understand, but okay, we'll do this, whatever. And then, of course, it was a huge success, highest grossing independent horror film of all time. And then, you know, and then there was the sequel, and Mustafa was involved in that. And I'm not saying he had no say, very little say in the first film. And then, of course, as things went on, and as Carpenter and Hill backed out, and Yablans and Carpenter had a falling out, and they were all gone. By part 4, yeah, he probably did have a little more say, but he's on record as saying, you know, Michael will always be there. We'll go up to Halloween. What is it? Like, you know, 22 or whatever. He didn't care. So yeah, he's the godfather of Halloween, but he's also responsible for it hitting the shit show. He's responsible for it going to fucking shit. You know, and I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm not saying that. I'm just thinking that, you know, I hear him praised all the time, and it's like, yeah, yes, but we can be critical of some of the decisions that he made as well. And like, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Maybe you shouldn't have done this. Maybe you should have hired this person or done that, or, you know, whatever. And, you know, respect to the man. I'm not saying he's an awful person. I'm just saying that there seems to be, you know, no, we can't, you know, he's untouchable. And it's like, no, he's not. He made some shitty choices. He made some shitty decisions because it was his fucking money, you know? Anyway, to say to that. So I just think that, you know, the godfather of Halloween, maybe, you know, I mean, I don't know if
Godfather of Halloween is Tony Moran.
Yes, that's right.
Well, hold up. Timeout. Flag on the field. 15-yard penalty. Joe Shimon John Jr., however you pronounce it.
Now, that's a cool shot, though. Sorry, dude. Just going to say, that's a cool shot, right? Michael in the background, out of focus. That's great. She turns. You don't see what she's looking at. She just runs. Sorry, dude. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, technically, he says it was Halloween 6 that ruined the character of Michael, and that the character of Michael was still intact in Halloween 5. Bullshit. First, we see the tattoo. Second, he takes off the fucking mask and you see the single teardrop coming down Michael's eyes.
5 was terrible.
Sad to kill his niece. It's like, what the fuck? Come on. No way, dude. Come on. No way. Michael's character was fucking totally not intact in Halloween 5.
No, not at all. And no, yeah, 5, you know, you're introduced to the thorn tattoo and the man in black, and that all comes from 5. There was no thorn tattoo in 4.
Single teardrop.
Oh, that's terrible. Uncle, see? Oh my God.
You're just like me.
Oh, it's terrible.
And then he gets beat down by an old man with a fucking with a 2x4.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. So anyway, that was my Mustafa rant. And again, I don't not like the guy or anything. I just, you know, I hear him get so much
die in a terrorist attack or something.
Yeah, so sad. 2005, they were at a wedding, I believe, and him and his daughter died in a terrorist. I mean, it's awful. It's just awful, you know. But I think he receives, you know, there are things to criticize, and I do not agree with the statement that some fans have said that if it wasn't for him, there'd be no Halloween. It's like, well, that's not necessarily true because we don't know what Erwin Yablans would have done had Mustafa turned him down. Erwin may have just kept looking. Maybe Halloween wouldn't have come out in 78. Maybe it would have come out in 79 or 80, but he would have kept looking, and maybe somebody else would have produced it and it wouldn't have been, I'm not saying that would have happened. I don't know. I'd have to reach out to Erwin and ask him, but
yeah, I was going to say it was by pure coincidence that Erwin worked with him on Lawrence of Arabia. Is that correct?
Erwin Yablans was, Mustafa Khadr was doing something.
They were connected somehow. So it was just by pure chance that they had that connection, because I agree. I think I always fuck his name. Erwin would have found someone else to finance the original Halloween. It was too good of an idea that they were putting together.
Yeah,
all the elements were in the right place. You're getting first of all, you got a movie that's called Halloween. In the history of movies, there was no movie called that. It's set on Halloween night. The idea was, there's no way. Mustafa said yes, and he wrote the check, and there you go. But anybody, fucking Trump, yeah, it's great. He could have fucking done it.
I loved it. I love this idea. How much do you need?
Great.
320,000. Okay, I'll take it out of my wallet right now. I've got that in cash.
There you go. I'm just saying, anybody with deep pockets back then would have financed that movie. Because again, you said, $325,000 was peanuts from films. You know what I mean?
Well, it was, it was. I think there were one or two. I think there was somebody that turned it down. He may have had some trouble, but it didn't live and die on him. And I just, but to be fair, he's done some great things for the Halloween franchise as well. But he is also responsible for pushing it and milking it when there was no milk left in the udder. So I'm just saying.
They missed the boat though with Michael. They if they were gonna do anything after 2, they could have came in a little bit sooner. We all know the misstep in the 80s of 3, which is totally looked upon different nowadays because we all understand it. As educated film fans, we understand what they were going for with the anthology film and whatnot. But at the time, no one was doing that shit. No one was thinking like that, No. So they sort of missed that. They missed the boat on throwing Michael's character in there at the peak of Freddy and Jason. That would have been really interesting to see what it would have been like then, because like you've said many times on here, when Michael makes his resurgence back in 4, Freddy and Jason are pretty much done at that point. They're on their way out. They really are. Their peak had already hit. And
Michael was nothing in the 80s. I know that offends some Halloween fans.
He didn't come until the last 2 years.
Michael was fucking nothing in the 80s. And I'm not that nobody knew who Michael was. I'm talking about pop culture presence. Nobody gave a shit about Michael in the 80s. Nobody did. Nobody did.
It was Freddy and Jason.
It's Freddy and Jason.
Those are the king of the castle.
But that's because between 81 and 88, there were no Halloween movies. Halloween movies with Michael Myers. Now that's a cool shot. Again, there's some nice moments of cinematography in this movie. Really nice moments. I will say that, 100%. There's some nice moments. I just wish he looked a little thinner and had a better mask. No disrespect to George. He just needed to get on the treadmill.
Get on that Atkins there, Michael. Get on that Atkins diet.
The Atkins diet. Now, what has this kid gone on to do? Danny, the
only ones that I know that's gone on to do anything, and this is Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the other actors. I don't know what this girl has done.
Paul Rudd. How old's Paul Rudd here? 40?
I don't know. Paul Rudd is just one of those dudes who is just going to look young for the rest of his life.
He's going to look, yeah, he is. He is.
I like Paul Rudd. I
don't mind him.
I don't like him as Tommy Doyle. I like him in that year when this came out. I preferred his character in Clueless. But yeah, I have no complaints with Paul Rudd.
I have no complaints. Paul Rudd. Look at that old...
He's got a serious movie that's coming out, like a series. Like I saw.
Oh yeah, I did too. It's with it's with Will Ferrell, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, looks good.
It looks really good, and it's very
Yes.
not Paul Rudd, which is
Yeah.
cool. I like that he can stretch himself as an actor and not do the typical Paul Rudd stuff. So when I saw that trailer, I was like, damn.
Yeah, it looks
Like,
good.
Really good.
Talking.
Like,
Now, why does he have the?
like
Why
a
does he have
psychiatrist.
candles? Why does he have candles? Like he's clearly got electricity.
Mood and atmosphere.
Well, yeah, but you have to justify it.
You're going for mood and atmosphere.
Yeah, but he's got his desk lamp on.
Spoke to your dad at the time, and they're like, "What do we need to do?" And your dad said, "Mood and atmosphere."
Mood and
And
atmosphere.
why Dave says mood and atmosphere.
The cult of Thorn and the peace sign.
Well,
Or
because
whatever.
like I told you that the 70s was making a resurgence at this point. Like it was making a huge comeback.
Yeah.
There was a lot of 70s vibe going on.
Mhm.
I don't think that 70s show had quite started yet because that was 98, I believe.
Mhm.
But I just remember the middle 90s and into the early late 90s, there was a huge 70s surge again. And I just remember seeing all these girls at school.
Paul Bronstein Rudd. No, I don't know what his middle name is. Danny!
Danny! Oh, Danny boy!
Hello, dear.
Oh, dear.
Danny, you're hanging with Mrs. Blankenshit.
My name's Mrs. Blankenshit.
Should have been Mrs. Elrod.
Elrod.
It's the same woman.
Whatever happened to the Elrods after 2?
I think they.
Now that's a story we need to get into.
I'm telling
Whatever
you.
happened to the Elrods?
Dude, I want to see the Elrods in a movie, and I think the movie should just be called The Elrods. The Elrods. And they go on a murder spree, just the two of them.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
Bonnie and Clyde. It's The Elrods. That's a movie I'd watch. Tommy Doyle looking very conspicuous as he walks through this.
Oh no, Edwin, dude,
Festival.
I got roasted this weekend. It was really hot. I mean, I'm sure, like, I know Dave's been having the same
Oh.
heat wave up there. I'm sunburned. No, it's not the camera. I got.
What was
I got
it? What was it
hard.
here today? Oh my God! It was today. It was. Oh,
Yeah,
it
we
wasn't
were
that bad.
out
It was
on-
98 degrees here today.
Yeah, we're getting that same crap down here. We were out on the lake on the boats and jet skiing over the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I got cooked.
Yeah, it's very fucking hot here today. I was out for a run this afternoon. It was like, Michael is alive. The boogie. There he is, the man in black. Yeah, we got to figure out. Oh shit! And I got to write him into the story and figure out who he is.
I am red. Jesus, I'm just looking at the monitor. Yeah, I'm fucking toasted. I got good sun.
Toasted.
Toasted. Toast
Toasted.
down. Toast down. Toast down.
Got to wear that
Now,
sun.
isn't this woman? Isn't she like wasn't she like a step niece or something, or what the? She's Kara Strode. Was she like?
I don't know. They're like their brother. No, her father is the brother of the adopted parents of Lori.
Right. See, that's cool. Seeing him out there, like, yeah, that's like the ideas are cool. Like, there's some ideas in this movie in terms of how to utilize the shape that I would have done in the modern films. Maybe we'll get that in Halloween Kills.
Hope so. Like I said, I just once in my fucking life, I want to go to a Halloween movie and walk out of it like, yes, I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like one time.
Well, and then you got to see where Halloween the original is playing. And then
No,
you gotta-
I see. The problem is, I want it to be the first time seeing it. Not like.
No, I know what you're saying.
I've
I know what
seen
you're saying.
Halloween. I've seen Halloween 4 on the
Yeah,
big screen.
yeah.
I want to see a new Halloween film, and I want to. It doesn't need to be the best. I just want it. I want to walk out and be like, that was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That's not a tall order.
What if the twist in this movie? I love how he's got his fucking shirt out of his pants. He's got his shirt out of his pants. He's like, Deborah, I want to fuck. That's really what he's come in here and said. He's come in, he's like, Deborah, I want to eat and then I want to fuck. I mean, he might as well just be saying that.
You might as well, because he looks like the angry drunk version of Norm from Cheers.
Yes, he's coming in. He's like, Deborah,
No one's calling my name out.
100%. I'm going to take off my suspender. He's standing in the doorway of the bathroom. He wants to take off his suspenders, take a big shit, and then he's going to eat. And he's like, I want to slap it around a little bit.
Wasn't his death different in the producer's cut? Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
There were some differences. Yes, there were some differences. There were different music,
What is
too.
the difference between, yes, I know there's different music. I forget what the differences were again. I know there's a difference. I just can't remember.
There is. I haven't watched the producer's cut in a little bit, but yeah, there's obviously differences. Producer's cut so much better. Okay, so let me get this right. So
it's better than the original.
the theatrical cut is a shit sandwich, and the producer's cut is a shit pizza, but it's still shit. Like, I mean, I don't understand. It's just better. Okay, all right. Well, I guess it's better. I guess it's better because it's pizza. Here, I'll smear this shit on there or something.
Pizza with pepperoni on it, so it makes it better.
Hello, dear.
I remember I went back to the movie theater to watch this a second time with my father.
God bless you for doing. I didn't. After the first time, I was done with this.
I know. No, I did. It was something we wanted to. We wanted to watch a movie. We just said, let's go watch this and laugh at it together. And I remember when this guy's head explodes, my dad started laughing. In the theater, my father was belly laughing at the guy's head exploding. You could see, like, people that were enjoying the movie, like, looking back, like, how dare you laugh at this fucking amazing. Hey, the effect is great. The effect's amazing. I don't know. So his head literally.
Does Michael decapitate her, or do we not know? I know you see the axe swing down and you see the blood splatter on the white sheets, but do we know if he decapitates her?
I don't think we do. No, I'm not sure. There he is. Oh, right into the gut.
Good kill. No complaints on the kill.
No, it's a good kill. It's a good kill with a good payoff with the head exploding and the foaming at the mouth. You just see.
I think seeing Michael's eyes, in a few shots here.
I think he had like Alka-Seltzer or something in his mouth, foaming. Look at that.
Yeah, like right there. You
Yeah.
get a hint of his eyes. I mean, it's not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near.
Oh!
Yeah, I think this up until this point, that probably was the most goriest kill in the franchise. Right?
Holy, maybe up to this point. Yeah, maybe.
Up to this point, up to Curse. I'm not. I would say that would be. I'm trying to backtrack now. The kills in the franchise.
Yeah.
Well, what's
That
her
was
name?
great.
What's her name that he killed? That Michael kills in the hot tub in 2 is pretty gory. Where he's bringing her up. And it's not bloody gory, but just what happens to her skin, and her skin melts. Although
Yeah.
I wonder if is it remotely humanly possible for someone's skin to melt like that with boiling hot water?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Someone in the chat room, is that possible? Let me
Frank
know.
says too over the top for a Halloween movie. I agree, Frank. And instead of his head exploding,
I
why
think
wasn't it?
people
It's
better, hold their breath because Kills is probably going to be something like that.
whoa. Kills is going to be.
Kills is going to make that scene look like it's from Sesame Street.
Oh yeah. And there's so much of it, and I can really in this movie they should have had John. I think his name was John, right? Instead of his head exploding, they should have had his entire body explode. Like his entire body just goes. And then they shoot it with 7 different cameras so that you cut between each shot and you see him exploding like 7 different times. So it's like. So they cut between the different shots and you see him like exploding all that. It would have been fucking great. That's what they should have done. That's what they should have done, man. That's what they should have done. Super chat comes in from Southpaw82, sends in $2. Thank you, buddy. Says, Tony, H18 was great. I'm bummed you didn't like it.
I didn't say anything bad about H18 in this stream.
No, but I think he just means in general that he's bummed that you're not a fan of
Sorry,
it.
that I have my own opinion.
Yeah, it's the way it is, man. It's the way it is.
Like, fuck. Not gonna like every movie,
No.
but well, if you like it, I mean, shit.
Yeah, that's right. That's all that matters. This guy looks like he's a
Tony, you gotta like it. Doesn't fucking matter.
This guy looks like he should be a porn star.
Probably is a porn star.
He looks like a greasy, slimy.
He looks like he could be our best friend.
Yeah. There he is. How did Michael get to the car or the van? How did he get there so fast?
Jedi.
I know in the producer's cut, I think it makes a little more sense actually, but
he fought himself there.
yeah.
Yeah, this dark redhead's hot. I think that's what it is. I think I gotta marry me a redhead. Maybe that's why I have not gotten married.
Maybe it is. Maybe you're waiting for a redhead.
Fiery redhead.
Fiery.
And I just realized that this whole time of seeing this film all of like 5 times in my life, that they're Frankenstein and she's Bride of Frankenstein. I had no clue what their characters were.
Really fascinating.
Is that really true?
The cinematography here is great.
It is.
Yep. Letting the natural, having all the shit.
Only $499,098 to go. That's right.
That's it. That's it.
We have to force his hands, guys. We've got to put Dave in such a situation where the money's rolling in that he has no choice, and me and Dave make this fucking movie.
Oh yeah.
No, Joe, I haven't seen the new Suicide Squad yet. I'll get around to it at some
That's
point.
good stuff. Like I get, yeah, it's
Love
some
the
good moments.
Love the silhouette between
Yep.
the two characters.
Yeah,
Good
great.
looking.
Great use of light and shadow. It's dark.
Silhouette is not easy to do, and they
Nope.
did that very well.
It's raining red. It's raining red. I'm a fucking idiot kid. It's raining red. Halloween 6. And the ending of this movie is terrible. Oh, God. And the ending of the producer's cut is bad.
What are you talking about? It's the greatest ending of all the Halloween movies ever. Better than the original.
Why would this kid... That's a dumb kid. I'm sorry. That's a dumb kid. Why would you be...
Rape blood. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. She doesn't bother to look up. That doesn't even look like him. That looks like a... Well, obviously, it's a mannequin without...
Dude, if one more person asks me to see Annihilation, I'm never going to watch that movie. Ever. I swear to God. That's like becoming a top 5 annoyance of movies being suggested to watch. I'll watch it one day.
There's Tony making love to the redhead right now.
Hell yeah.
Look at all the candles. Where did they light these candles? Where did these candles come from? Aren't they in the Myers house right now? Or where are they? Yeah, I think they are, aren't they? Are they? I can't fucking remember.
Well, he lives there because he's the...
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Their son.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so they are. So, oh, yeah,
Listen,
that's right.
You get off my Kool-Aid there, Billy hairdo
right.
wannabe. He's got that Billy from Scream hairdo.
Oh, there's her breast, it says is.
Nice and perky. Boy, I like it.
Yeah, she's probably 75 now.
They're not much older than you and I.
No, I know.
Those two, they're probably in their early 20s. So
Well, I'm now 49.
40s, maybe a little bit older than us, probably like late 40s.
This scene here with the guy in the shower reminds me of the guy in the shower in Friday the 13th Part 4. Doesn't it remind you of that?
With the hairdo of Billy from Scream, yes.
But doesn't it? Are you not expecting Jason Voorhees' hand to come like through the thing and like?
Absolutely.
That's what I want. Oh, there it was. The
tattoo.
Even though we never saw it on any of, we never saw it. Never saw it. Ever before, except for 5.
Ooh, he's getting cut. Bite down on that blood capsule. No. He's gone. The evil is gone from here.
Evil is gone. What are our favorite kills in this movie, Chester?
Kill for me.
I gotta say, what's the father there? Head explosion is probably my favorite kill in this movie.
Yeah, and I still think it should have been his whole body. But yeah, the head explosion was great.
That's a good kill.
In terms of just enjoying the absurdity of the whole thing.
I have that camera. But she's looking through.
I want you to look over at me and show me your breath. It's like, what kind of movie is this becoming all of a sudden?
There's someone in your room with you.
That's slow. Oh, the slow motion.
Got me right here.
The slow motion and the stabbing. Dun, 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 dun. Danny, what are you doing? No, Danny, no. There it is. The music is on. She's running. She's running. She's trying to get in there. She's, yes, into the Myers house, her house.
Of course.
But again,
and Michael's not going to kill the kid.
the staircase is on the left-hand side, which is good. I mean, I believe if this was the house in Halloween 5, I would have believed this was the Myers house. You know, renovation, that kind of thing. Is this a Black Christmas throwback? Going up the stairs with a fire poker? You think it is? No, I don't think it is at all.
Maybe.
No,
the
it's
Curse of Michael Myers is connected to Black Christmas.
Connected.
Uh-oh.
It's connected to Black Christmas, folks. No.
Yes. That poker,
Yes.
that fire poker was in Black Christmas. Therefore, it is now connected to the Curse of Michael Myers.
It's the same thing. Yep. Just going down the hall.
Who's the voice, Daisy? That says "kill for me." It's the Man in Black.
Kill for me. Kill for me, Danny.
You sound like
Dr. Claw.
Yes, Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Gadget. I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
Interesting. They chose the name Danny. Is that a Shining connection?
Ooh, it's the Shining's in the same universe.
Ooh.
Let's pull back. Pull it back. See their naked bodies displayed. Here it comes. Why would you just fucking do it? Rip it off like a Band-Aid. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh! Oh my God, he's in here. No. And I'm going to put I'm going to put the blanket back over them. It's great. Come in here, Kara. Get naked before you come in.
I can't do that. It hurts my throat.
Get naked before you come in. What is going on?
Cray, you're going some dark areas with that.
Here he comes. Now this is cool. I always like this as they're backing down the hall, and then the illumination of the lightning, seeing him there. I always like anytime that, again, I don't like the mask. I'm not a big fan of George in this movie as the Shape, but the creative choices to do that is fun. Like these are the kind of things that I would have done for sure. The mother reminds me of, but the way he's walking, he's doing this kind of thing.
He did not decapitate her. It was
There you go. Yeah.
Saving it for later.
Smack! Oh! And down the stairs he goes. Where he stops, nobody knows. Where he stops, nobody knows. Yeah, I would believe that the Myers house went under significant renovations and that this is the Myers house.
Yeah, I totally buy it.
Yeah. Staircase is on the left-hand side. Looks very similar. There's a room right there.
Yes.
The layout is similar. I would believe it. It's just an updated, somewhere in the 80s they went through some sort of reno.
Maybe they didn't want people to, keep coming by and taking pictures of the Myers house.
I like the way that George is lying there on the ground, though. I like the way he doesn't seem posed. He seems sort of like that is kind of naturally how he fell. And I've always liked that, actually. Of course, the old...
Just a hint of the whiteness of the mask. I like that. Good
Yep.
lighting.
Yep. And
I mean, it's just unfortunate because you're right. I mean, when you watch this film as a creator and as a filmmaker and a cinematographer, photographer, like they did a really good job. I mean, you can't knock them. You can't knock them for the set design. You can't knock how they shot the movie, but it just you can't get past the story.
I know.
And Michael needing to be on the Atkins diet.
Yeah.
Love all the pumpkins there. Oh, that's right. We get the shaped stalks in this one too. It's a kind of an
Yep.
Where's the baby?
Where's the baby? Where's the baby?
A little throwback to the original.
Yeah, coming across the street. I just wish he wasn't walking like this. He's got his hands like this. If you look at his hand, the one that's not holding the knife, it's like this.
He's like walking like this.
He is, but look at his hand, the one that's not in the knife. It's like this. It's not like this. He's like this.
Walking like he's
Well,
like,
that looked a little better. I didn't like the way he walked.
I know, he looks like he's about to start skipping.
It does kind of look like that. You're right. It does kind of look like that.
Skip.
He's skipping.
I'm telling you, Michael Myers is here in this town.
Get over here, Danny.
Yep.
Danny, kill for me.
Who, Dr. Claw, is that you?
No.
This was the most like, and I mean, I'm already in the theater pissed off at this point. This just was adding more fuel to my anger when this was revealed. Like, what?
I know. And it's like, what?
Come on.
What?
Dr. Wynn is the fucking Man in Black. Like, whatever.
Win. You mean the guy that said, now, for God's sake, Sam, he can't, Haddonfield's 150 miles away from here. For God's sakes, he can't drive a car. That guy
is the guy controlling Michael Myers.
That guy is in charge of everything?
Fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
The
Look
dude
at that,
had
right through the
one line, has no significance at all in the franchise. Now we're going to bring him back. Okay, whatever.
He's the guy. Well, we did see him earlier in this movie, but yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like,
I totally know what you mean.
Up until this movie, he had that one fucking moment in the original film, and that was it.
Yeah. I like how they just come to. Like they don't bother to kill Dr. Loomis. They just come to.
It's his game.
It's his game. That's why.
And I know where he wants to play.
And I know where he wants to play. It's his game. They're going back to Smith's Grove, Tommy. Tommy!
He grabs him by the shirt.
They're going back to Smith's Grove.
Okay, Dr. Loomis, calm down.
No, don't you understand me? He's here in this town.
Yes, you've already said that 2 movies ago.
I don't fucking I need my gin. Where the hell's my gin?
And then he walks off, and he's never seen for the rest of the movie. He's never seen ever again.
Would have loved it. So we would all have been sitting there watching the rest of the movie, like, "Where's Dr. Loomis?"
What happened? He went off to get his gin, and we've never seen him
drink.
Yes. And then the credits roll, and there's a post-credit scene of Dr. Loomis sitting at a bar.
With a commercial coming on of the original Halloween.
Yeah, he's sitting there and he's like, he's taking shots. He's completely hammered.
Telling the bartender, I was there that night.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's
I shot him 6 times.
He's still on the loose. He's completely wasted.
Great. Are you kidding me? That would have been awesome. That would have been so meta.
Yeah, because by this point, you're like,
you might as well. That would have just
like,
been like, fucking A, might as well. Loomis at a bar, getting drunk.
That's
Halloween comes on the TV.
Yeah.
I shot him 6 times.
Oh, hello, Sam. I figured you'd come in.
He just starts reciting all his lines.
I do like these hallways, though. Wherever they shot this, I love the long white hallways.
very Halloween 4 essence too. Like Halloween 4 had that same type of feel. You know, and you remember when Loomis is walking down the hallway?
Yep.
To the doctor's office there you let him out.
Yeah.
Spare me the speech. I've listened to it for a decade.
I've listened to your rhythmic speeches for a decade.
A decade? So a decade?
Wasn't it a decade at that point?
Is that what he says? A decade?
Spare me the speech. I've been listening to it for a decade. That's what he says to Loomis.
So he's been listening to it since 1985. Oh no, when does this movie take place? No, it takes place like
the line that I said is in Halloween 4 when Loomis
says it's Halloween 4. That's right.
Doctor.
That's right. That doctor. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Win for a moment. You're right.
Spare me the speech. I've been listening to it for a decade.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
Maximum security ward, come on in. Sit down and have a cappuccino.
Security as he opens up the fucking door.
I know.
Come on in, take a seat.
And there's no guards.
No, of course not. A nice tungsten.
That would be cool, Michael. Yeah, for Dave to do that in a sketch, he could do that. Go to a little mom and pop bar in Toronto, and you get dressed up as Loomis. You just do the whole fucking rant.
Oh,
all you do is you just run off all of Loomis's iconic lines.
That's it. That's it.
And you're just drinking your beer and you're
I'm drinking my beer.
The bartender walks up to Dave and like, "Can I get you anything else?" I met this
6-year-old
child.
I met
and
this.
And then at the end of it, the bartender goes, "So, do you want another round?"
Yeah, that's right. You want anything or not? Hello.
Oh man, you know what would be good for a sketch like that? Oh, you got to do this. That's gonna be hilarious if you can do it without laughing. And Bruce has got to go with you. You do it through a drive-through.
Yes.
Say, "Can I take your order?" And you just go into a Loomis rant.
This woman is like. Now this
looks like Reagan, if Reagan never got cleansed.
Maybe. Frank Riker sends in a $10 super chat. Thank you, Frank. Says, wouldn't it have been better if Loomis had a weapons gathering montage for Smith's Grove when the last shot of him going into the closet and putting out the trench coat like a superhero?
Oh,
yes! Oh my God, yes. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, like before him and Tommy go to Smith Groves, Loomis looks at Tommy, he's like, "I gotta get one thing."
Yeah.
Go back to Loomis' house and he pulls out the trench coat.
Yeah. Oh my God. He goes back. It's like, he's gotten all these guns and heavy artillery and shit. And then he lays out the trench coat. And yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been hilarious, Frank.
This is the first time you're seeing him since 1978. So twitch your face.
I will say, like,
it's a good score.
It's a good score. The Mask is okay in certain lighting. It's okay on its own.
Wrong. Isn't The Curse of Michael Myers about to get a vinyl release? Because I'm gonna get it to have for my vinyl collection.
I think so.
I think I heard somewhere that was it Waxworks or something was going to release The Curse of Michael Myers on vinyl.
I don't know, something like that.
I like the soundtrack. It's a solid sound. I mean, it's Alan, so I mean.
Oh yeah, no, the soundtrack for 4, 5, and 6 are great. Alan Howarth, the soundtrack for 4, 5, and 6 are great. They're great soundtracks, for sure.
Although H2O minus Creed is pretty good. What's this life for? Has nothing to do with Halloween. What's this life for?
Halloween time.
You're slow dancing with your girl to Creed. No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Oh, the operating room mayhem is coming up here.
I mean, if you're going to do a Creed song in a Halloween film, then it should have been With Arms Wide Open. That's what Janet and Lori sings to Michael.
They should
With
have.
arms wide open.
They totally should have done that. And we're going to
when at the ending when Michael's got his arms up,
yep.
he takes off the mask and starts singing Creed. With arms wide open.
Geeked Out Turtle Fan sends in $5, says Dave McRae. It's only one C. Dresses at Dr. Loomis and some random guy is Michael Myers, both drinking at the bar and have. That sounds like something the guys at Wham would do. You should get Mike and Jay to do that.
Wham would definitely do that.
They'll do that. But no, yeah, that'd be fun. And have Freddie walk in. That'd be funny. For sure, that'd be funny. Thanks for the $5, buddy. Appreciate that. Do you think after this movie...
And now Michael's going to go and kill them all because that totally makes sense at this point. Why not?
Do you think after this movie, because this was the last movie in this timeline, because then H2O happened, do you think Kara Strode and Tommy Doyle hooked up and got together and got married and had babies?
Sure, why not?
Tommy Doyle and Kara Strode.
In this timeline, I mean, from this point,
I think that's probably what happened.
If you were continuing this story, and I don't know why you would, but if you were continuing this story, then yeah, I'd keep the, characters together, what the fuck? Why not? Because the obvious would be to go the other way and make them hate each other, or like they had a relationship, but they broke up and now they're at odds with each other. And that's just, that story's been done to death. Go to the opposite way and make them together and they're a happy couple and Michael comes in and fucks their shit up. Wearing a trench coat and a top hat.
Dr.
That's how we last at the end of the movie.
Sends in $4.99. Thank you, buddy. Says, disappointed that Loomis didn't hook up with Mrs. Blankenship in this film. Totally. That would have been amazing.
That would have been great.
Oh, Loomis. Yes, Mrs. Blankenship. Sit down while I take off my trench coat. Oh, Donald, you're so sexy.
Loomis would have busted out, your tits are too stupendous.
Your tits are stupendous. Oh, Donnie. Thank you, dearie.
Why does Michael turn on the people who's been controlling him? I'm just wondering.
Well, because the producers needed more blood and mayhem in the movie.
Exactly. So you're telling me for all these years, for the last 20 fucking years, right?
This is
almost 20 years. You're telling me Michael's been under control by this foreign cult people that now he's turning on and fucking slashing up like Leatherface or Jason in this fucking hospital room. It makes no fucking sense.
But this is what you're going to get in Halloween Kills.
I mean, it's cool to see Michael on a rampage, but fuck. Like, whatever.
There's going to be a lot of that in Halloween Kills.
I'm looking forward to that. But I'm expecting it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm expecting it. Because, I mean, Jesus. Oh, he's running. That's right. This is when I'll tell you, though,
I would watch this over Halloween 5 and Halloween Resurrection any day of the week. I'd watch this movie.
I agree.
Over Resurrection and 5. The only redeeming quality of 5 is Dr. Loomis. That's it. Well, and he's fucking drunk and he's half in the back. Like, not only is he drunk actually, but like his character is like half in the back.
Daniel Harris's performance is good in 5.
Sure, but I mean, I can go watch 4 for that. But her performance in 4 is better than 5.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's not her fault. That
no, it's not. It's not her fault.
Went into production with only a half a script. And I'm telling you, because of that reason and going into production with 5, that's probably why they made her a mute, because they're like, well, fuck this, man. I don't know.
That is why. That is why.
Why, because they only had half a script, so they made her a mute.
Yeah.
Like, that's just lazy filmmaking.
It's a terrible movie.
It totally shits on her performance of what she did in 4. But I will say her performance for what she was given, she was fine. And I mean, unfortunately, Rachel got the shaft. And it's not her fault what happened to her. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I would probably watch this. Not that I watch either, but I would watch this over 5.
King's Hockey? I think is what it is. Sends in $5, says, you guys ever see 2009's 2008's The Children? These creepy kids put the children of the corn to shame. Great horror movie. No, I haven't.
I haven't.
I have to look into that. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the suggestion.
Oh, Zoom in on the needles, foreshadowing.
Yep, rip that fucking door off. Now, is this George P? Because I don't think this is.
This guy looks a little more fit.
He looks a little more fit. I don't think this is George P. Wilbur, because I don't think so. I think it's that other guy, I think. It's that other guy.
The other guy, whoever he is. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I know that they did some reshoots without George P.
Right. This guy looks a little more leaner, a little more fit.
Yeah.
A little more toned.
I actually like, I hate to say it, I like his movements better.
He's got Michael's movements down. Very subtle.
This might be. No, I don't think it is.
Doesn't look like he's got a rod up his ass.
No. Oh.
Sometimes the way George was walking, it looked like he had a rod up his ass.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it looked like he was going to skip across the street.
Oh, and then he's running, just a moment ago when they're getting away from him, he's running down the fucking corridors of the hospital. Like, I mean, you never show Michael running in a fucking movie. Like,
because I know that they went back and reshot some shit and they had another actor don the mask. That I know for sure. I just forget the gentleman's name. Michael Lerner says Chester Franklin Jr. Michael Lerner. Is that who it is? Lerner? Lerner, excuse me. Is that how you say it? Oh, no, Dave. Michael Lerner. Lerner. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that name rings a bell. Makes sense. Yeah.
I've said this plenty of times, Mohammed. I preferred Jamie Lee Curtis in H2O over the 2018. I preferred that arc of Laurie Strode over this new arc that this Linda Hamilton, Ripley, gun wielding Laurie. Like, it's totally not Laurie Strode. I believed the events of the original film. Even if 2 doesn't happen, if it's the original film, I believe the arc of Laurie Strode in H2O, that's more in line to what would have happened with the character. This shit, like, no.
I hate to say this, but I'm enjoying Michael Lerner as Michael Myers better than George P. Wilbur.
It's good. Sorry, George.
In this movie. Now, I know George plays him for the most of the film, but seeing Michael Lerner walk into a room, walk through the space, into the light, out of the light, not just like we're actually seeing him play the shape, not just in a moment or a cutaway. We're actually seeing Michael Lerner embody the movements, walk through the space. And I got to say that I like his look in this movie better than George P. Wilbur's look. That may be blasphemous for some, but it's no disrespect to George. It just, I think he looks better.
He looks like the Michelin guy, Michael Myers.
George P. Wilbur does? Yeah. A little bit. He's got that. Oh, they're injecting the green slime. What is that anyway? Like green
slime from Nickelodeon's TV
You can't
show.
do that on television. He's beating the fuck out of him. Wait a minute. Was that even...
This is like 2 movies in a row. Michael gets beaten by a stick.
Beat the shit. He's getting the fucking shit kicked out of him here.
This movie, it's a pipe. Last movie, it was a fucking 2x4.
Lee Bauer says H2O was decent, but the mask sucked. I thought H2O was crap.
Dave loves it.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of H2O. I just think it's just...
Don't let him fool you. He loves it.
It's my favorite movie of all time. I'm going to watch it 6 times tonight before I go to bed.
I'm going to watch it 8.
8! Done.
So does the mask like come off of Michael here? Is that
No, but I guess the green that's coming out of him, like I always used to be like, why the fuck is there green shit coming out of him? I guess that's the green shit that was injected into him. But really would it... And that's it. That's your ending. That's your... Like, think of that. That is... Then we cut to this moment here. And yeah, the producer's cut is better in the sense of that it gives more context, it fleshes things out, but you're fleshing things out and giving more context to already, in my opinion, not a good movie. So that's why I'm like, yeah, you can watch the producer's cut and some things may make a little more sense, but it's not like it's, I mean, maybe that makes the movie better for you, but it doesn't make it a better, like a good movie. In my opinion. But this is a terrible ending right here. He leaves the mask and you just hear Dr. Loomis.
Totally unjust.
And why is there a needle lying right beside it?
to do to that character. Like, fucking A, guys. Come on.
What kind of an ending was that? And then, yeah, it's funny. You hear, the last thing you hear is Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance going, nah, 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 in loving memory of Donald Pleasance.
What the fuck?
It's like, what are you doing? What, like, you're just saying, in loving memory of Donald Pleasance. We love you, Don.
I never got up out of a seat so fast than in this movie. Like, I just was so angry.
But, you know, I mean, but the ending to the producer's cut, you know, we see Tommy Doyle stop Michael Myers in that circle of rocks, and that completely disables him like he fucking took the chip out of the back of his neck. And then, like I said, when Dr. Loomis goes back in, he sees the cult of Thorn Tattoo, you know, and then he takes off the mask and it's Dr. Wynn. And then Michael Myers, we see a shot of Myers walking off in silhouette in a trench coat and a fedora and a briefcase or something like that. Like, that's better? I mean, maybe? I don't know. I just think it's terrible. I think what a terrible idea. Walking off into the what a trench coat and a fedora.
Like a cowboy walking off into the sunset.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Would Jason fans put up with that? Jason is, you know, gets out of his clothes. He leaves the hockey mask on another person. Then you see Jason walking off in a trench coat and a fedora, sneaking around. I mean, come on.
Michael was channeling his Freddy.
That is true. Michael was channeling his inner Freddy. Let me see if, folks, that was Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the theatrical cut. As you can clearly see, you know, Tony and I both agree that it is probably, if not, definitely one of, if not the most fall Halloween-y feeling Halloween movie in terms of its environment.
Best looking Halloween movie.
Yeah, there's some great best looking Halloween movie in terms of Halloween. There's some really good cinematography in this film in terms of utilizing light and shadow and you know, setting the mood, and there is some genuine nice moments in the film for sure. And I've always said that. That's probably why I enjoy it way more than I enjoy 5. But it's just not a good movie. You know what I mean? It's just the answers and the reveals and the answers to the big questions. And it's just like, nah, this is not what it should have been. You know what I mean? But hey, like as I said, they didn't go out to make this movie to make a bad movie. Making movies is tough. And, you know, my hat goes off to filmmakers that go out there and put it out on the line. But it's just not a story that should have been some past.
That Michael sleeps with Jamie or impregnates Jamie.
No, no, I'm just saying they didn't go out to make a bad movie, but the story should never have been approved. Like, it should never have been it should have been like, nah, we got to think of something else.
It's like Halloween 6. It's like talented YouTubers who are really good with the GH5 or a good Canon, you know, whatever. And they went out and made a Halloween movie. That's what Halloween 6 reminds me of. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Like, it's like a fan film. It just feels like a fan film. So yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I don't believe we missed any super chats. But now's your time to send them in. We'll hang out for a little bit here.
Zach, I only watched about half of X-Men Apocalypse. That movie didn't do anything for me. I got bored with it. I like Days of Future Past and I like First Class. I enjoyed those two, but yeah, I wasn't really feeling Apocalypse. I turned it off.
You weren't feeling Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Apocalypse. June H sends in $2. Thank you, June. Says, will you review or sequel concept for Black Widow? Well, if it's for us, June, if you're new, Tony and I don't do movie reviews on the channel. Tony doesn't have a channel anymore, and I don't do movie reviews on this channel, so I will not be reviewing or doing any sort of sequel concept for Black Widow.
Is that Scarlett Johansson?
Yes, I believe so. I have not seen it.
haven't
I
even-
don't care about it.
Ditto.
But thank you for your donation to the channel. It is much appreciated.
I'm kind of like I don't want that to sound dismissive, June. I'm just really like I'm kind of over the superhero movie thing. Like really, I am. I'm so checked out on it. Like I've seen enough to last me a lifetime. Like if I don't ever watch enough, well, I do want to see the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. So I shouldn't say I'm like totally checked out. That's one I am looking forward to. I'm not even looking like I know Michael Keaton's coming back to do the little thing there with the Flash as Batman, but like I don't even know if it's him as Batman or if it's him as, but like I'm just like 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 I just think because we got so inundated with comic book movies for the last decade that I just like I'm like, well, what else are you going to show me that's new and creative? I mean, I get it. I get the plot of a comic book movie. Introduction to the hero. The hero is great. Then the hero is slightly defeated in the second act and the villain has got the upper hand. Then the hero makes a tremendous comeback and saves the day and the villain is defeated. End of movie. I mean, that's every single, but I didn't want her to, or I didn't want June to feel like we were dismissive on that. Cause I sounded dismissive, but I don't care. I really don't about comic movies. I know you're not into it at all.
No, I'm not. Well, and it's not that I don't like a good, it's just I don't care about superhero film. Like it sounds like I'm saying I hate superhero films, and that's not what I'm saying. When I say I don't care about them, I say that in the same ways that somebody in your life that you know that's not into Star Wars or not into horror movies.
Like most people we know are not into horror movies.
Right. Exactly. Like it's that kind of thing, right? Like there are people in this world that are not into horror. It's not that they wouldn't sit down and watch one or not sit down and watch one and enjoy it. It's not that. It's just that they're not rushing out to see it. It's not top of mind. It's not first interest because they didn't grow up with it, learning to enjoy it, or they're just not into it. For me, I didn't grow up reading comics or playing with superhero toys or watching the cartoons, whatever. So I don't really care. I don't, but I mean, I'll always watch like a Batman or a Spider-Man or, a Superman.
Batman, that will always pique my interest because I've said that plenty of times. I like the Batman universe.
Yeah, the staples, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman. Like those three guys are your staples that are very popular. But when it comes to like the larger extended stuff, I just don't care. Like I will never watch. I can tell you right now, I will. I haven't
even seen the new Spider-Man movies. The one with
Same.
the kid, the new kid. What's his name?
Tom Holland.
Thank you. I haven't even seen. Well, no, I saw one of them. I just can't remember.
I saw the first one, Homecoming.
The Michael Keaton one, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one I saw.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that one on Netflix, but I haven't seen the others. And then, but yeah, that's what it is. Zach Gaxiola says,
I've been dying to ask you this question.
Oh, yes. Hang on a sec, Zach.
So I mean, it was only a blip, and I haven't had a chance to watch your video yet. But what's your thoughts on? I mean, besides the fact that they're going to be 30 by the time this new season comes out, but Stranger Things, the little blip that we got. Any thoughts on that?
No, not really. I mean,
that for last week.
Yeah, no, my thoughts are sort of the same as they've always been. I mean, it's I think the first season is still the best. I think season 2 was, fun to revisit the characters again, but it's largely just kind of season 1 part B. And then season 3 is different. It's very different than the other 2 seasons. The effects are great, and it's always great to revisit the characters. And I think season 3 is better than season 2, I think. But overall, I think season 1 is just the best. And I think the older these characters get, the less redeeming they're going to be. I mean, maybe we'll enjoy it because they are the same actors, they're the same characters, and we are watching them grow over time. But what makes Stranger Things work so well is that it's they were like 11 and 12 and 13. So they're not caring about girls. They're not, I mean, not that you can't care about the opposite sex, but not in the same. Yeah, it's very different, right? Like it's not the same. and it's the innocence of childhood. Like it's the sweetness of adventure, the naivety and the it's just once you get older and you're like 18, 9, I mean, I said this on my show the other day. I mean, it's not unreasonable to assume, I don't think they'll do this, but if both Millie Bobby Brown and Finn Wolfhard are over the age of 18, theoretically, hypothetically, I'm not saying they'll do this, I'm just, in theory, you could have them have a sex scene, and it's like, and that's just weird.
Like, that would weird me out.
Well, yeah, you see, and that's what I mean. And I'm not saying they would do that, but when you get older, and we saw, and they're not shying away from it because we did see them play into that, and you have to play into it because it's a natural part of being an older teenager. Once you're 17, 18, 19,
hormones are going through the
your
roof.
hormones are going through the roof. What you care about is very different than what you cared about at 12, 11. And they have to.
For you and I, man, that the reason why the first season hit such a core, because that was our life. You know what I mean? Like, that was our childhood. Like, you and I could totally relate.
For sure. And a lot of people could.
Well.
And that's absolutely. And so, obviously with season 4, because of the delay, because of COVID, obviously, the kids are a year older than they would even be if they had to delay it a year. So, I assume the kids are going to be 18, 17. There's probably going to be maybe in the actual timeline of the film, in the actual timeline of the show, there's probably going to be, I would imagine, a year or two time jump there would have to be to justify that these kids look older. I mean, there is a big difference. You grow like a weed between, 15 and 17. I mean, you look very different. And so they're going to have to justify that. And I'm not saying the show is not going to be good. I'm not saying it's not going to be charming. I just, I always said that you could probably get 4 seasons out of this. That was before the pandemic. I thought you could do that. I think the Duffer Brothers have in mind, they have, I think, 5 seasons. That would be another season after this one. Okay. But that's, for me, it's got to end there. Not because you're going to run out of story ideas. That will happen too. But I don't want to see Stranger Beverly Hills 90210. That's not what I want to see. And, I don't want to see them in college, and all the soap opera drama that because that's part of life and you're going to have that in there. And so I think this works best as a kid-centric thing. I think you need to keep it there. You're on the tail end of that already. And I want to see something different. This is bigger. I think they know that. I've been saying that since season 2. After season 2 ended, which was pretty much more the same as season 1, this. We talked about this. I'm sure there's records of it on my channel. Going back to 2017, I said, or 18 or whatever it was, I said that they can't just be hanging around Hawkins all the time because people would just move out. And as much as I love the concept and the quantum theory and all that kind of shit of, the upside down and time and all that, that's really cool. There's got to be more than just this fucking creature all the time. Like, you got to do more because I'm getting bored. And season 3 did that.
Process them.
What's happening? I can hear that.
Back in 1988, nothing really was computerized.
I can hear that, dude. You might want to turn that down.
3x5 index cards.
I can't even hear. It's really loud.
Commercial pop up.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I was going to finish by saying that it sounds like with season 4 that they are shooting in several places around the world, which is cool. The Duffer Brothers have said that this is going to be a bigger show. There's going to be a lot more going on because of the different locations. It tells me they're expanding sort of the geographical kind of shackles that they had on with maybe the first few seasons. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they expanded and what the story is going to be. But my thoughts are the same in the sense of that, I think they're at the tail end now. I don't want to see, the draw. I think it's a kid show. It's a kid show and keep it there. And maybe have it end with them going off to college. You know what I mean? Maybe have it end with them graduating high school and, whatever.
90210s.
No, you don't want that. I don't want that. I just don't want to turn too soap opera-y, and I think this has a shelf life because of the kind of movie it is, and it's like the Goonies. I mean, that's what it is. It's like the Goonies and Stand By. It's a coming of age. I mean, albeit in a very fantastical scientific world that none of us can ever relate to, because none of us will ever actually be going up against demons and, demogorgons and all that, whatever it is. I mean, we'll never have that. But at the heart of the series is a coming of age story. And whether it's the Goonies or Stand By Me or whatever, that's what it is. And coming of age stories don't enter adulthood. They end on the cusp of adulthood. And that's some do. Some, I mean, might end earlier, right? But that's sort of, there's that transitional period, and Stand By Me was great for that. When you hear, Richard Dreyfuss's narration talking, you see River Phoenix walk off and, disappears because he died, and you hear all that kind of stuff. Like, you're not the same as an adult as you were as a kid. So watching them, we need to keep this very kid centric. Anyway, those are my thoughts.
We need to do a Stranger Things month. I'm thinking we can do like 2 episodes in 4 weeks in a row, because the episodes are only like 40 minutes long.
Yeah, we could do that.
Like, we watch 2 episodes we should do that. We should do like a Stranger Things.
That'd be kind of fun.
For just the first season, not.
Yep. No, I'd be down for that. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun to do. Okay. Danny Huckins sends in $1.99, says, did you know Chris Durand played Michael in H2O? Yes, I did.
The more you know.
The more you know. Danny Huckins sends another $1.99, says, as well as Ghostface in Scream 2. Yes, I believe he was one of the ghost faces in Scream 2, if I'm not mistaken. DreedMem77 sends in $10, says, D&T, I remember you said before you don't eat out much. So what staples do you like to cook at home for dinner during the week? Do you have any standard go-to meals?
I have a diet. Yep.
Yeah, I have, I like turkey burgers and vegetables, and with bacon, I'll often eat chicken bacon. I'll have like maybe some rice, things like that, nothing crazy. What about you, Tony?
My guilty meal is pizza. That's the only time I eat out. And it's from a really nice Italian restaurant right around the corner from where I live. But I'm very particular about what I eat. It's pretty much chicken, turkey burgers, pork chops. That's my meat. Lots of vegetables. My starch is usually just like brown rice and sweet potatoes. I'm a big sweet potato guy.
Sweet potatoes are good.
That's a good starch to eat too.
Sweet potatoes are good.
Very good for you. Like, if you're looking for good carbs and that fill you up, those are the kind of carbs you want to put into your body. Because like Dave said, I work out 6 days a week, and I'm still going hard at 42 with it. And your nutrients and what you're putting into your body is so critical to giving you the energy that you need, especially as you get older too. You need that shit.
Oh yeah.
But though Saturday, man, it's like I go all out, man. I get like, I have, it's like a ritual for me. Like, I get the just cheese pizza, going all Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin with it.
So you don't put anything on your pizza?
Oh, just cheese.
Now, why is that? Do you not like toppings like pepperoni or?
Weird back. Like, I used to do like mad toppings. Well, not mad toppings, but I used to do like pepperoni, sausage, and mushrooms back in the day. But as I got older, I started to have like at night when I would eat that.
Indigestion?
I'd have bad indigestions and heartburn. So when I cut the toppings out and it just went straight to cheese, I found that totally was totally like fine. And then
you have tomato sauce. I mean, right? You got that.
Oh yeah. Everything else is on it like normal. It's just a normal cheese pizza, but I just don't any of the toppings, and it's fine because the pizza shop that we go to is really, really good.
Yeah.
And I get a 6-pack, not a 6-pack of beer, but small. Cause like, I don't know if they have those in Canada, but we get the small little mini cans of soda here, and I get Sunkist. I'm a big fan of orange soda.
Cool.
And that's my one day of the week that I'll have some soda. The rest of the week I'll do only water or flavored water.
Very cool. Zach Axiola says,
Diet.
do you worry that if Halloween Kills goes too gory with the kills, that it could overshadow everything that defines Michael Myers as a character? Well, it depends on who you are. I mean, if you're somebody like me, yes. I mean, I already know that's going to happen. And I think that it may do that. But if you're somebody that doesn't care about that kind of stuff and you just want, I mean, I did a poll. Was it a poll? Maybe, no, I don't think it was an official poll, but I think I tweeted this not too long ago where I said something about Halloween Kills being like really gory and all that. And people were like, yeah, there's a lot of people, guys, there's probably a lot of people in this chat room right now that are like, fuck yeah, Michael tearing shit up. Yeah. I want blood. I want gore. I want guts. I want violence. Yes. A lot of people just want it. They just want it.
Not gonna lie, that's kind of where my mind is at with it right now.
It's to say, but people just want it. People want it. They want it. Let me see. The Spiral Sky Project sends in $5. Says DGG, David Gordon Green, was handed The Exorcist. Halloween and The Exorcist are two different monsters and levels to take on. Do you think the Exorcist films will be scary? Well, I don't know. It's still too early to tell. But what they need to do, The Exorcist is not a slasher film. It's not about, what was scary about The Exorcist is not the green slime. It's not, yes, the demon voice is cool. And it's, whatever, right? And the effects were great for its time. But it was really at the heart of it, it was a story about a priest and how he lost his faith and how he sacrificed himself to save a girl he had never met. Because you have to remember that when, what's his face? Father Marin, I think his name is. When he first meets Reagan is already like fucking like gone. You know what I mean? Right. The devil. I mean, he had never met her as like a sweet young girl. And at the very end of that movie, he sacrifices himself to save a girl he's never met. He dies, spoiler alert. Dimmy. There's a lot of cinematic language in that film and symbolism, and it's creepy and it's eerie. It's beautifully shot. And yeah, you get all of the stuff that we know and love, which is the, your mother sucks cocks in hell, and the head turn and the eyes wide, and all that stuff is great. That's cool shit. That's awesome.
Christ compels you.
But without the drama and the character relationships and the stakes that are raised and the nuance and the slow build and that slow burn, without that, The Exorcist is just another fucking horror movie. And it's not just another horror movie because of the characters and the development and the relationships and how well it's paced and how they build you to, it's not like she just suddenly turns and, you're getting all of the goods. My thought and all this kind of stuff, right? They build to that. And so you watch that transition happen. It's not just an immediate transition. It's an insidious transition. It's over a period of time. She gets worse and worse and worse. And it's like, oh my God, you see this sweet little baby-faced girl get worse and worse and worse. So you're on that journey together. You see that transition. It's creepy as fuck. And all that stuff is important. But if they're just going to turn this into another, like, we've seen so many exorcism movies nowadays. There's so many exorcist movies nowadays. So many. There are a fucking baseball field full of exorcism and exorcist.
So many of them in the great.
So many, the greatest. There are so many exorcism, exorcist, possession, demon kind of movies out there now. What are they going to do that we already haven't seen 10,000 times? Is this just going to be another exorcism of Emily Rose? The Last Exorcism? Conjuring? I mean, what are we going to see? Are they going to fall into the typical tropes or whatever? Right? It's got to be different. This is one of the granddaddies of modern horror. When I say modern, I mean after, the Universal. Yeah, exactly. But this is considered one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Whether you like that or not, or agree with that or not, becomes irrelevant in the general sense in pop culture. It's one of the greats. And, you're making 3 extra movies that are okay. well, what are we going to do that we already haven't seen in modern exorcism movies? And this is what I'm saying, right? It's a different thing. And I would imagine they know this, but if they were watching that, my advice would be, this isn't just, you can't just make a possession movie. We've seen that 50,000 times. We've seen it over and over. How many times can I watch a girl bending over backwards? It doesn't creep me out anymore. I saw it once. Oh, creepy. I've seen it in 65 different movies. Okay, been there, done that. You know, what are you going to do that's different? And I'm not talking about effects. You know, I'm talking about the tone, the story, the style, you know, the presentation. This is different. You can't just go out and make a possession movie and call it Exorcist 2. You can't do that. And so, you know, I don't know what they're going to do, but they're following patterns. They look at what David Gordon Green did with Halloween. And it's not like Halloween 18 was, you know, a lot of people love it and think it's great. They want him to do it for The Exorcist. Okay, well, we'll see. Tony?
There's a difference though with doing Halloween versus The Exorcist. Halloween, you can do that. You can always make a horror slasher film. Yeah. You can always bring, but The Exorcist, there's no reason. There's beyond like what you said. I mean, you're talking about you know, it's my all-time favorite horror movies. It's one of the greatest, whether you agree with that statement or not, that's fine. Yeah. But The Conjuring's got a possession in it. Well, all of the Conjurings have a possession in it.
There are tons of movies.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we gonna do? Like at this point? I mean, like,
that's whatever. What I'm saying. Even if the movie isn't called The Exorcism or has the title Exorcist or Exorcism the movie, there's tons of demon possession movies out there. What are we gonna do? In my opinion, you have to focus on the relationships. You have to focus on the characters. Rich with it's a character-driven story, not a effects-driven story. If you can get us to care about the characters, you know, build relationships, then the payoff will speak for itself. If you can get to that payoff, but if you peak too soon, you know, we need to start caring about. There's no, and again, it depends on like Tony's absolutely right. It depends on the kind of horror movie it is, right? There are many different subgenres, but The Exorcist is not an effects movie. You know, it's a deeper movie than that.
Now, what if, let's just throw this out there, play devil's advocate for a moment. If Gordon Green went more in the direction of an Exorcist style done like The Hereditary. That, you know, well, like the way they did Hereditary with the layers and everything.
Yep.
I could see that because I did like Hereditary. I mean, it's not for everybody, and I understand that.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm not a fan of Midsommar. They're not even fucking closely a fan of that. Right. But I did like Hereditary. It's a deep movie. It's a movie that you need to go back and rewatch. Yeah. Because there are a lot of shit there that you're not going to catch, you know, the first time around. If they went in that direction with The Exorcist, all right. I'm not against the idea. I like to see how that unfolds.
But when you watch Hereditary, it's about great performances
and possession,
great execution,
right?
Great developed characters. It's nuanced. They're not peaking too soon. You know, you have to do something like that, because if you're just going to make a standard Exorcist movie that I can pull up on Netflix right now in the snap of a, I mean, who fucking cares? And do I have confidence they'll do it? I don't know, because it's Blumhouse and it's Universal. So you see, A24 is not one of the major studios. They're an independent production company. They're an independent. So they can now, obviously A24 needs one of the larger, I believe, studios to help them distribute. I don't think they're large enough to be distributing on their own. But the point I'm making is that Blumhouse doesn't. I'm cautiously optimistic. obviously I don't want anybody to fail at any time. But when you look at Blumhouse's movies and how they're becoming more polished, more Hollywood, more sort of run-of-the-mill by the numbers kind of thing, and that's fine. I mean, listen, he's a rich man. He's the king of making horror movies for 10 million and making, 100 million. I mean, it's a great business model. He's been able to do it. He's successful at it. But Blumhouse also has a lot of dog shit out there as well because they're approving so much. They're kind of throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I don't know if Blumhouse is. I would be more excited if A24 was doing The Exorcist, quite frankly, because of the style of the movies that they seem to want to align themselves with. That doesn't mean you're going to like every movie.
Very
well, they're grittier.
Well, not only that, they're when I say continuity, I'm saying their aesthetic looks to all their films are you're watching an A24 film.
Mm-hmm.
They all aesthetically look the same, and that's not a knock. I like that style, and I think if they approach The Exorcist that way, but I don't know if David Gordon Green can get that fucking deep. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if his.
Well, it depends on the writing. It depends what they've written.
What's his name? Ari.
Yeah.
The guy who did Hereditary.
I think the first script for The Exorcist is already written. I think, but we'll see. We'll see. But I if it's Blumhouse, you can expect it to be more of a populist film, a film that's going to appeal to everybody, and that means that you're going to have things in there that are which might not be a bad thing. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see, another company come up and I don't want Blumhouse to have a monopoly on everything. I think it's good to have competition. And I don't want Blumhouse to get Friday the 13th. I don't want them to get A Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't want them to get, Jesus, can we?
Well, at this point I wouldn't mind because at least I know it'll get done.
Yeah, I'd rather A24 do Elm Street. Let's put it that way. All right, let me see here. Let me scroll back at these super chats. Oh yeah, we gotta skedaddle here. Yeah, got that. Exorcist. And then Sweet Tea sends in $10. Says, for the channel, my friends, be safe. The tea is sweet tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The tea is sweet tonight. Did I get them all? I think I did. Did I get them all? I believe I did. I don't think I missed anything. No, I don't think I did. All right. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up, folks. All right, that's going to do it for Tony, Michael, and I here on episode 121 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Thank you to our great moderators, Frank Riker, Tabitha Short, Darren Sands, and Chris Baber. Really appreciate it. Thank you to the Super Chat questions that came in, the non-Super Chat questions that came in. Oh, Nick gets one right under the buzzer. $5. Thank you, Nick. Says, Tony, I drink and love that orange soda. Also, but have you ever had a bottle of Stewart's Orange and Cream Soda? If not, grab one. It's a game changer.
That brand here. We have Sunkissed, which is what I use, so that's the one I get.
Yep.
And I forget who the other brand is, but we don't have Stewart's here. Or if we do, I've never seen it in our stores. I'll have to look. I'll look. If we have it, I'll try it.
Very cool. And Bobby Hall, I did see this. Thank you for reminding me. Months ago, I sent you a super chat question about H6. You asked me to save the question for when you watch H6. Is it okay if I type the question in here without giving you an... Absolutely, Bobby. Send it at me right now. Let's do it. Let's do it, Bobby. Let's do it. Come on. Do it now. Do it now before we go. Cody Snyder says, love you, D&T mods. Much love, McRae's.
We're only like 2 months away from Halloween, though.
Hard to believe. 2 months away from Halloween. We are 2 months.
Literally 2 months. We're closing in.
Close to it. 2.5 months. Something like that. Maybe not even.
Today's the 9th. It comes out the 15th. So
That's right.
Close.
Halloween fans must be excited. Must be excited or waiting for Bobby Hall's question on Halloween 6. As we sit here.
They're like...
He is. He's on his phone right now and going, fuck, mistake, typo.
Yeah, we're going to be here for another hour.
Can you imagine? That's what it is. That's what's happening right now, ladies and germs. Right now. There it is. D&T. If you were hired to make your own version of Halloween 6 and the producers told you that you had to explain the man in black and the thorn symbol, what would your approach be?
Oh boy.
I had to explain the man in black. Well, let me see here. And the thorn symbol. I don't know. I don't know, Bobby. I would probably, maybe I would say the man in black is somebody who is, maybe I would just try to explain it away he was just somebody that, I don't know, because it's so fucking terrible.
It's like you're trying to.
I'm trying to justify shit.
Trying to make something good.
I am looking at a shit pizza, trying to justify that there's shit
good.
on the pizza. Yeah. There's crunchy fly shit on this pizza, and I have to pretend that it's good stuff.
It was one of the first decisions that was ever made in this franchise in Halloween 5 to bring that in. It was
Derailed everything.
It just fucked everything up, and it's almost impossible. Like, Jesus, man, it really is. I mean, like, to make
it's
it
tough.
good, you could take the one approach of keeping him mysterious and not really answering too much questions and not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to go about it.
I think, maybe he's just like a Michael Myers sympathizer. He's I don't know. He's just a crazy guy who was able to get Michael out of a jam, I mean, that's terrible too.
Sounds like a bad 80s television.
Tonight on Halloween. Oh, it does. It's terrible.
What the fuck? Like,
Bobby, I don't know.
You know what I would have done? This is what I would have done.
I would have refused to have written the script. I would have refused to have written the script if I had to do that.
I got the answer. This is what I would have done. Fuck it. Halloween 5 open 6. Yeah, we're at 6. Halloween 6 opens up. They've got the footage.
Right.
Got the footage of Michael being loaded into the van with fucking Jamie and fucking Mike and all that stuff. The man in black is fucking walking out the fucking station. Meeker's not dead. He's got a little life left in him. Blammo! He shoots him in the back of the head. The man in black falls down. He's dead. Then we don't have to explain the man in black.
Yes! Yes, you just don't acknowledge who he is. But then if Michael's...
Meeker dies in a blaze of glory.
Right. Or maybe it is Meeker. It is Meeker.
Meeker's dead sort of. Yeah, he's dead on the floor.
No,
but he's not dead. He's got a little bit. He's got a little life left in him. He's raising that gun up. And blam.
What if?
Died, and you don't have to explain who the man in black is in 6.
What if it's actually Wade from Halloween 4? Shut up, Wade. Fuck off, Wade. It's Wade from... it's Rachel Carruthers! It's Rachel Carruthers. She's gone all fucking...
She's gone all batshit crazy. She really was alive in the attic. And they're like, fuck you, Jamie. I'm going to come kill you.
Yeah, I mean...
Put me through all this bullshit, fucking stuck on a rooftop saving your ass. Fuck
like,
you.
In fairness to Bobby, I mean, it actually is a good question. It's just a question I've never thought about. Because...
I think my killing him at the beginning spares you from having to explain him.
It does, but then you would want to kind of like, well, who is this? But then maybe there's like a throwaway line. He was just some crazy guy obsessed with Michael or something.
Something like that,
I don't know. Or what you do is, I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's such a good question, but I don't know. I don't know how I would probably, you know what? To be honest with you, I would.
It's Laurie Strode.
It's Laurie Strode. It's Laurie Strode.
Didn't fake her death.
It's Laurie Strode.
Save her brother.
Maybe that's what it is.
And her daughter.
That's what it is. Super chat, Brendan Morrows, $5 says, you guys are the best. Love these episodes. Cheers, Dave. Can't wait for the next ones. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. Thanks so much. All right, that's going to do it. We are done, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your time. Tony and I will be back next Monday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 122 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. What's that?
I got a feeling I know what we're going to do.
Have a great rest of your night, folks. Take care, and we will talk to you guys soon. Alrighty. Cheers.